Individually, humans might be one of the most boring, unassuming creatures on the planet. We aren't particularly good at anything. We are weak, and we are fragile, and we are pathetic. Yeah, alright, maybe just me. Well, why is it, then, that we managed to conquer the entire planet and now have instant access to videos of lemon cats flying in the air? Well, there are all the reasons that everybody who watches the Joe Rogan Experience drones on about. Language, huge frontal lobes, blah 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 blah. All of those reasons might be right, partially, but it got me thinking. What caused humans to evolve this way, and moreover, why the fuck didn't it happen to anybody else? Neanderthals, our ancient distant cousins, had bigger brains and stronger bodies than us. This might lead you to believe that they had the evolutionary advantage back in the day, but it's not that clear. A lot of space in their brains was allocated to motor function and eyesight, considering they were physical specimens. As a result, it's theorized that they had a smaller memory capacity than us and quite stark differences in brain structure. Their brains had their advantages compared to ours. Why didn't a creature that shared more than 99% of our DNA thrive like we did? Humans used to think that if meaty think machine bigger, meaty think machine better. Well, we did a lot of studies to determine if size of the brain had any impact on IQ, our most unified measure of traditional intelligence. It's safe to say that larger meat, however, does not mean better person. Anyway, the cerebral cortex, the outside bit of the brain, is the thinky bit. It stores our grey matter and allows us to create videos with the title "What the fuck is peanut butter?" and then overthink and then change the video title 30 minutes later. The fact that we have very wrinkly brains, though, means that there is more thinky bit to use. Folds in the brain are what causes these wrinkles. If our brains were smooth spheres of flesh, there would be 2/3 less surface area in our brain to use. Meaning the actual volume difference between us and the Neanderthals' brain doesn't actually matter if our cerebral cortexes are virtually the same. Studies show Homo sapiens cerebellums, another thinky part of the brain around this area, were larger than our Neanderthal counterparts, but also our skulls are globular while theirs are more elongated. All of these differences probably meant sophisticated, abstract language derived from a difference in neural pathways, provided sections of our brains were differently shaped and sized. It would also explain our ability to conceptualize the almighty hypothetical. Situations that haven't happened yet, visualized in great detail by only us. Probably because language helps us to easily grasp ideas and memories and sort them. And then linguistics being perpetuated amongst us because we're far more social than our Neanderthal counterparts. It's a really common misconception to think that evolution is completely objective and rational. That it's not wasteful, rather it's entirely intentional. Well, not all the time. Why did we waste calories generating an appendix just so it can get infected? And falling over in your dream, jolting yourself awake at 3 AM when you have to get up for work at 6:30. What the fuck was the point of that? Mutations are a thing that happen, too. Green eyes occur from genetic error. Ginger-haired people are a result of a mutated gene in the melanocortin-1 receptorin. That's a joke, by the way. Gingers aren't people. Anyway, none of these things really had significant advantages or disadvantages for survival. They just happen. But the point is, evolution just does stuff, particularly with a large enough sample size and on a long enough time span. Sometimes the mutation doesn't matter and we get ginger or green-eyed people. Sometimes it matters for the worse, and the trait is quickly expunged from the species. Sometimes it matters for the better, and the mutation becomes commonplace. Mutation, or chance, or a puppeteer pulling the strings. Our mental faculties are a gift, and one evolution may never grant again. Now, how the fuck did any of that correlate to the production of peanut butter? Well, I have a brother who's kind of a bodybuilder. Me, once being a stick-thin 16-year-old, wanted to get big and strong to fuck people up, and I looked to him for advice. The advice in question? Peanut butter. He would eat 7 peanut butter bagels every day. He would put peanut butter on his toast. He would put it in his smoothies. He would dream about it. As opposed to consuming it like he did and growing my biceps, my mind came to the logical conclusion that peanut butter made absolutely no sense. How the fuck did we turn a peanut into butter? We made this into this. We made this into this. This shit gets even crazier when you learn how we first made coffee. Seriously, look it up, it will blow your mind. Humans have managed to band together to create an automatic production process for peanut butter that involves roasting, skinning, blanching, and grinding peanuts into a paste for mass consumption. And then that factory machinery being made by other humans. And then architects planning out the factory line. And then builders making the factory in the first place. And then manufacturers making the trucks that the builders drive to the work site. And then the petrol refineries cracking the oil. It gets 15 layers deeper though when we look at our journey to the stars. Each valve, hydraulic, each line of code was specifically designed by different groups of humans with different sets of knowledge, all for the purpose of building this otherworldly machine. A machine that worked as the sum of its parts to bring us to the moon. While individually we are unassuming, hairless little wrinkle babies, we coordinated feats of engineering, science, and mathematics to create borderline magic. This magic doesn't have to just be found in rocket science, rather all around us. The clothes off your back, produced in a factory from materials produced in factories of their own, with their own unique methods and science. Bottled water being extracted from mountain glaciers in the French Alps. This, amongst many other things, were only possible with a unified effort. From humans who may not have known each other, but banded together regardless. While I'm sure it wasn't you and I specifically who were rolling around in mud tens of thousands of years ago, or whatever else cavemen do. You and I still originate from ancestors who only had access to trees, not much food, and no semblance of our modern day language. All the while being at constant risk of death from predators double our strength while being twice as fast. Despite this, we felled our superior Neanderthal cousins of whom we had little to no advantages. Literally fuck all, basically. We created satellites to speak to one another internationally within the blink of an eye. We made peanut butter, for God's sake. And all of this magic came down to one thing. There's only one thing that gave humans domain over the Neanderthals. There's only one thing that helped us make magic. There's only one thing that sent us to the stars. And that thing is togetherness. And that's how we made peanut butter. Also, I linked the Discord and Patreon in the description if you'd like. The Discord is far less optional to join. Join it.